Well, listen a minute. I want to give you a thought or two here. Thank you, by the way, for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And especially at my age, where I've gone through the ranks of different times, different ages, and different trials and troubles. And being a pastor for all these years, even being an evangelist, even while I was pastoring, after I turned church over to my son, began to travel quite a bit with my precious wife. And to be honest with you, I could be a little bit weary, but I'm not going to allow myself to become that way. And with that thought in mind, let me just ask you, if I falter, would you push me on? If I stumble, will you pick me up? But if I turn back, just go ahead and shoot me. Because I have got to go on. Either until Jesus comes, or until the natural way of death takes me. But I've got to keep keeping on. Let me preface my statements here by simply saying to you, and I understand that you understand that I never dreamed that our world would ever come in the condition that it's in. Although the Bible has been given us pretty good indication of the times and the seasons that we can see coming. But I never dreamed it would become as much as it is, as quick as it is, and be as it is right now. Never. I mean, not only our world, but the United States of America. I never, as a young man growing up, and even as a young man when I began to pray, ever thought America would get into the condition that she's in right now. I'm talking about the condition exactly where we have progressed to a nation of total and complete abandonment of God, and the principles of God that we were one time accustomed to and lived by and enjoyed the freedoms that we had. I never dreamed America would ever become into the condition she's in right now, ever. But have you noticed? We're in terrible shape. And the only side of that is that it's an indication that Jesus really is truly going to be coming soon. But what has happened in our world today? Let me read something out of the Bible, and I'll speak to you a little bit about the thoughts that God's given to me from passages like this. But listen to Psalm chapter 50, verse 17. This is what it says. Chapter 50. Actually, it's Psalm 50. You don't call them Psalms. Psalm 50, verse number 17 says, Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee. Notice how he emphasizes the words. Casteth the words behind thee. In other words, words that were not anymore because they were behind us. In fact, another passage over here in Psalm as well as 39, along as if you want to call it a chapter, the longest chapter in the Bible. Listen to Psalm 119, verse number 39. That's where I want to go. 119. Listen to 139. Something similar to what we just read there in Psalm 50. It says in Psalm 119, 139, these very words. My zeal hath consumed me, because my enemies have forgotten thy words. Oh, the enemies come upon us because we have forgotten some words. Now I believe with all of my heart, what I'm going to tell you right now is absolute truth and reality, and needs to be taken for that they're truth and a reality. I'm going to try by rebuke. I'm going to try by reproof, and with long suffering, and by no doubt wooing or attempting to re-enthrone in your life, in my life, some of the lost, or as the Bible says here, forgotten words. Our country is in the condition that she's in because we have lost and forgotten words that need to be resurrected and revived. Like I said, with all reproof and long suffering, and even trying to woo. I'm going to attempt to show you some of those lost words. I speak of words that I believe have fallen, been trampled under by most, are not believed as they have intended to be, as words we use in our vocabulary every day. And these words are very vital and important if we're ever going to restore any kind of decency and order in the lives of the families that we have in our own home or in our churches. Our members are. We've got to have these words that have been trampled under our feet to be brought back into existence and for their full meaning. Listen. Words are harder to find that I'm going to talk about. And as we have said many times, words that are harder to find than a needle in a haystack. I'm talking about words that melted away in our lives, personally, in our churches, in our home, and in America. I'm talking about words that have melted as ice, the desert sun. Gone. These words, we'd hardly ever use them. But we certainly do not believe what the meanings of them are. If we did, back to normality once again. Words that have been discarded like some old shoe that's worn out, that we have holes in. Discarded as old clothes, threadbare, and we don't wear them anymore. And we set them aside. These words have been discarded. Have been set aside. They're not used anymore, and they're certainly not believed. Words. I'm going to tell you about it in just a moment. I'm talking about words that are great. Words that are found on lives of politicians, preachers, and parents, pupils that used to be, but are no longer found on politicians, or preachers, or parents, or people in our households. We use these words, and if we ever don't use them, for the intent to what they mean. Think of bad words. Bad words are flowing from every walk of life. I never dreamed I'd ever hear what I hear on the media, or on a television program. I mean, every person. They bring these ugly, dishonorable, wretched words, and they're said and heard in everyone's vocabulary, and it's terrible. And it's Christians have picked up on some of these words. Use them. I can't believe what Christians will say in conversation. Where did they get these words? Terrible, ugly words. Now, what are some of the old-fashioned words? Words born in the fear of God. Whatever happened to words that reared in the love of God, or words that are clothed in the abundance of grace and words that need to be brought to the forefront again. That's what I'm talking about. Words that need to be exposed again, expressed, used again, believed again. What about those kind of words that need to be brought from unemployment back to work again? Words. Our vocabulary shot. If our nation, our church, and its emphasis of trying to get people saved, and if our nation will ever endure itself, or if our church will ever prosper and survive, homes will ever be blessed, if our lives personally would ever exalt and bring forth the image and glow the Christian spiritual life, we have got to bring these lost words back. They've got to be found, they've got to be embedded in our hearts. Listen, folks, I'm not just preaching, I'm telling you, we have got to get some words back in our vocabulary, put them back to practice for what they really mean. You say, well, Brother Miller, what will it take? First of all, it's going to take conviction. When I give you these words, these words need to be brought to us, and held by conviction. And it's going to take courage for us to get back the meaning of what these words are. Let me give you the first one. Are you listening? Pay attention. Let me tell you a word that is absolutely void in all of the realm of society, worldwide, nationwide, churchwide, and homewide. And that one word simply is a word that we've known about for years, practice, and it's the word. Ready? Obedience. What is it to obey? I'll tell you what it is to obey. It's to carry out the orders and the instruction of God. It's to carry out the order and instructions of parents to children. It's to carry out the orders and instructions. It uses in Titus chapter 2, verse number 5, for wives to obey their husbands. And it's also carried out, or supposed to be, by an employee to his employer. Obedience. Obey. And carry out the orders and the instructions of those who are over us. Obedience. Not in dictionary only, but in our lives. And in our vocabulary, we have got to get back to obedience. Experience and manifest in our lives. I mean, has unmistakable promise of God's blessings if we'll do it. Can I remind you? Let me turn to do something. Listen to me. I realize I'm also hold of your heart. Get you realize if you do what the Bible says, it will actually change your whole venture of life. Do you believe the Word of God? Now, honestly, I understand. You'll say yes. But do you really believe the Word of God? If you do, would you believe this? Deuteronomy chapter 11. And verse number 26 says, God speaking, and he says, Behold, and he steadily gaze upon, look upon, take your eyes off of it, say something here, important what God is saying. Behold, I set before you this day, every day, a blessing, and a curse. He said, now, every day you get up in the morning, I have set before you a blessing and a curse. And he describes that. That's how he describes it. A blessing, if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. A blessing if you obey. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Better yet, are you listening to God? I set before you a blessing and a curse. And he says, I'm going to give you that blessing if you will obey the words that I've given to you commands in this Bible. Now hold it. Come on. Let's just get honest and get right down to where we live. Do we really believe that? Do we really believe that God has given us certain commandments, such as we need to pray, we need to win souls, we need to live righteous lives, we need to be separated, we need faithful in our service to God. Do we really believe the commands? Do we believe them? Well, God said, if you obey them, I'll bless you. Then why are so many people not blessed? I'm talking about Christian. I'm talking about people listening to me right now. Blessings are far from you. Could it not be because obedience to what you already know God has said for you to do, and you're not doing it? But if you would, He has to fulfill His word, for His word. God's a liar. And we know that God's not a liar. But let me read it to you, just in case you've forgotten it already. He said, I set before you a blessing, and a curse. Now listen, a blessing if ye obey the commandments of your God, If I'll bless you if that little two-letter word is conditional. Blessings come if we obey. You say, Brother Mill, commands are there in the Bible? Well, there are many Christians. There are those that God emphasizes in order to live Christ-like life. We are to obey them. And if we do, here comes His blessing. I'll open the windows of heaven and pour you a blessing that there's not room enough to receive. I don't know about you, but I want to be under the spout of the blessing. I want to obey. And when I disobey, I'm telling you what. I know when I disobey, and I know that I need to get back and obey. I'm going to get the blessings of God wants to give to me. Now listen to the other part of that verse, or the next verse. After he said, I'm going to give to you a blessing or a curse. And he says, a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day to go after other gods which you have not known. What's he saying there? You know exactly what he's saying. Cursed are the cursed. Is this nation not cursed? Because we do not obey what we know, what God has said are His commands for us to do. Look at your own personal life. Look at your own. Look at the place of where you are. Look at the people in your church. Look at them. Look at everything they're going through with the amount of curse on their lives. They don't get their prayers answered. They don't have the blessings of God come in good health. They have fears beyond measure. Everything in this world is going wrong with them. Their children are going astray. Their lives are messed up. Everything is because of curse comes because of disobedience. Like it? Probably not. But yes. Truth, yes. A blessing if you obey. A curse if you obey not. Now listen. You say you believe in the old King James Bible. You believe it's the Word of God. You believe that it's inspired. You believe God is the one actually used the men's hands to write down these words. You believe it's God's Word, but you don't believe enough to practice it. And God says, I want to bless you. Obedience. That's why he said in the first Samuel, obedience is better than sacrifice. Yeah. That's what it says. That's what it says. If you want to read it, chapter 15. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Then he says in Acts chapter 5, it's better to obey God than man. Obey God. And look at it. It's in your Bible. It's in your Bible. If you ever want to look at it in Acts chapter 5, it's better to obey God than man. The first law God gave man in the Old Testament to Adam and Eve was the law of obedience. The law of obedience. The first law of Jesus, as you know, was perfect, and he was obedient. He was obedient in his life, to his parents. He was even obedient in death. 50 years ago, the United States was the law-abiding nation in the world. Listen to what I just said, because it's a fact, and you can check it out. But the United States of America was at one time the most law-abiding nation in the world. Now may I tell you something? The United States of America is now today lawless. And look at the condition we're in. In the past few years, population has increased 25% in the United States. Crime has increased 177%. Crime. Obedience is an unknown, forsaken, lost word. It's usually found only in the dictionary, but not in the lives of God's people or America's people. Obey. Obey who? Obey God. That's the place to start. Obedience. I mean, we sneer at law. We sneer at the law. Speed laws. We sneer at alcohol laws. We sneer at laws. We sneer at staff laws. We sneer at trespassing laws. And we dead sure sneer at God's laws. Let me read you something. Listen, Lincoln, great president of this. What he says, and I quote, let reverence for law be breathed by every American mother to the cradled baby. Let it be taught in all schools, seminaries, colleges. Let it be written in primers, spelling books, almanacs, and let it be preached from pulpits, legislature halls, courts of justice, and let it be the political reign of the United States of America. Let God's people revive life, lost a word of obedience. To carry the orders and instructions of those who are in authority, and greater authority than God Himself. The children to obey parents. Members are to obey their pastors. Americans obey the laws of the land. Obedience. Here's another lost word. I'll get off of that one. I don't think you like that one. But here's another one. How about we've lost the word and what it really stands for. And that word is honesty. We've lost the word honesty. Honesty simply means honorable, respectable, credible, commendable, And honesty is that not lie or cheat or steal. It's truthful. In other words, let's not obey, but be honest. It's a lost word in this society. Let me personally be repaid. Promises made to me of repayment of those that have borrowed from me, that we may have enough money to sponsor a long time in our own personal life. If I ever repaid from those who have borrowed from me. But they're not honest. They say. One man said, if you'll lend me $5, God will turn my different color. If I don't pay you in 4 weeks. God must have changed the skin in his eyesight too. For he has not found his way after a few years in my off door and give me what he borrowed from me. Because they're not honest. We rarely hear the word honest or honesty ever mentioned. It needs to be mentioned. It also needs to be shown. A man is just as much thief who steals a nickel as a man who steal a dollar. Just as much a thief who steals the city bus company out of a ride. Just as much of a burglar who breaks in a house and steals jewelry. Most people today have to look up the word honest in a dictionary to even know what it means. We have confused the word honesty with prestige. We use the word debonair. We use the word popularity. Many think today it's honorable to get money any way you can without going to jail. If you disbelieve this dishonest generation, if you really don't believe it, follow the stock market. Look at the gamblers. Look at the high pressure salesmen. Look at the get rich quick schemes. Follow the lottery. We have debt dodgers instead of debt payers. We have dishonest politicians. We have dishonest businessmen. We have bankers. We have dishonest employees. We have dishonest employers. We have dishonest church members. And we have dishonest Christians. It's a lost honesty is a lost word. No wonder. High prices. How many unpaid doctor services, hospital services, dental services, and they're still unpaid. But people have gotten the best of being able to use them, but they don't pay their bills. Dishonesty. It has. We talk about inflation. Dishonesty. Inflation. Think of the bankers left holding only a signed no payment. Think of a landlord whose tenants during the night, owing them months. Think of the dishonesty involved. Think of the used auto dealer who left much owed on a car driven clear across the country. Dishonesty. There's dishonesty everywhere. I mean, dairies are watering their milk down instead of buying more cows. Employees get a day's pay and don't give a day's work. That's dishonest. That is dishonest. Employers receive a day's work, give a day's pay. Dishonesty is grain elevator. Driver will take his load of grain to the weigh station, and get weighed. He stays in the truck with the grain. I'm just simply saying, we're living in a day of dishonesty. Government dishonesty. They steal elections. Income tax dishonesty. Lie on our forms. Shortages in our church treasury. School funds. Community fund. Embezzlement. Shortages. Shameful. Sinless. Because people are short on real 16 ounce to the pound, 36 inch to the yard. I'm glad to believe that Randall is going to have a glorious resurrection from the dead. It's been buried in the dark, and it's going to be raised in the last. Jesus is going to require honesty. I'll move on to the next one very quickly. Safety. Another lost word. Obedience is lost. We just don't obey. Honesty is lost. We're as crooked as a dog's hind leg. We can't even be honest with our own mates. We can't be honest with our children. We can't be honest with our fellow church. We can't be honest with our preacher. And we're dead sure not even honest with God. Where's the honesty? But here's the third word that's lost. And that's the word do. This word has gone hungry. This word has gone unfed, and it's anemic, and it's weak, and it's sick, and it's feeble. It has been given the low seat instead of the high. It's been given the back instead of the front. It's invalid. We put wings on the word do. We put a harness instead of spurs on this word. Many dreams for deeds, desires for deeds. And I want you to know the Bible is full given to us that we're supposed to not only be hearers of the word, doers. A lost word. Here's another one very quickly. Whatever happened to the word loyalty. I mean, this word seems to have gone on a voyage. It seems to have been lost and it's on a trip. It cannot find its way back. There's no loyalty. Hardly ever. No loyalty shown to God, shown to friends, shown to family, no loyalty shown to churches, no loyalty members, two members, two preachers, two country, marriage. And this is the foundation that will support everything. As a foundation is loyalty, absolutely and must. Isn't it funny? Listen to this. People who laugh at loyalty in a man admire loyalty in a dog. Oh yeah. I'm simply saying we have lost some words resurrected, and applied. We need to be back to them. I'm telling you, ladies, and this country is not going to get any better. Your house, home, and family are not going to get any better. Church is not going to get any better. And your own personal life is not going to get any better or be blessed. Until we come to the resurrection of words that mean much to God, the words of obedience, honesty, doers of the word, and loyalty. Would you set out today as God vision and character to revive those words in your life? So that you can revive them in your family, so they can see them being revived in family and your church, and so that they can be seen in the nation, and bring America back to the words that made America great. God bless you. It's good to be with you. Tune in again.